What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I'm back with another video. Today I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad still support.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video. Now, before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, man, I am back with another weekly sneaker rotation. Now, this should be week 145 to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct the kid down in the comment section. Now, y'all already know I started this series off at the beginning of 2023, and here we are, we're already on week 145. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of what I'm wearing throughout the week, sign up for that sold out Discord. The link will be pinned at the top of the comment section, and it is free to sign up. Or, of course, we continue the sneaker talk. We got a food section, music section, upcoming sneaker releases, you name it. So if I don't get the content out in time, it will most likely have updates over there in the sold out Discord. Now, enough rambling. Let's just go and get to this weekly sneaker rotation. Now, y'all know I end things off on a Friday, then pick right back up on Saturday. So for this one, right, okay, hint, cat's already out of the bag. This one's gonna cover Saturday and it's gonna cover Sunday. So that means pretty much the kid just laid around the house the entire weekend, pretty much when I just had to make little quick errands here and there, and I just kept it simple in my Yeezy slides, right, okay? Now, you already know, man, my joints are beat like I don't know what, but they're still super duper comfortable, and with this having like that foam-like material, I think it's just gotten to the point where I could tell it's already molded to how my natural bottom of my foot is shaped, right, okay? Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the pure colorway. One of those I did have to pay resale for back in 2021, but safe to say, like, I didn't get cracked over the head too bad, but still probably way more than what you want to pay for a slide. But then again, I used to actually have a pair of Gucci slides, right, okay, which were super duper uncomfortable. So major upgrade, kind of considering, like, you know, yeah, it's not the name brand compared to Gucci, but definitely way more comfortable than a Gucci slide in my opinion. But I haven't had a pair of Gucci slides in years. Ironically, I end up selling those old Gucci slides. But this was my Saturday and Sunday shoe, was a Yeezy slide pure. Cool, now let's move right along on to Monday. You know the kid worked a full-time job and thankful for it. So pretty much, man, I just kind of wanted to switch up the week. I tried to go all no Jordans this week. So pretty much, let's just see what it is real quick. So first things first, on Monday, the kid stepped in none other than the Allen Iverson, and these are the red toes, right, okay? Arguably one of my favorites in my collection, a classic one, and these are obviously the questions. As you can see, the logo right there, Reebok, and y'all know red is one of my like favorite colors, right, okay? Now, one thing I do like that it actually has like pretty much Reebok inside of this little lace loop thing right here going on. Now, I will say this is a very, very bulky shoe and somewhat heavy, but I still feel like it gets away with most fits, right, okay? And it's kind of one of those, like, it kind of takes everybody down memory lane, so to speak. So when I pull these out for work, I get nothing but compliments. And of course, y'all know the kid, one of his favorite colors is red, and it has white. So, I mean, you got a little bit of versatility. Now, this is Allen Iverson sneaker. Pretty much, you know, he's considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And to the best of my knowledge, he did not get a ring, but he still was that guy, right? Okay, arguably one of my favorite basketball players of all time. And part of the reason is probably who inspired me to get tattoos. Not like his, we don't have the same tattoos, nothing like that, but just in general, you know what I'm saying? Definitely I've seen somebody who put the work ethic in and also wasn't afraid to be themselves. So this was my Monday shoe, was the Reebok Questions, aka the Allen Iversons, right, okay, the red toes. Pretty much cool. Let's move right along on to Tuesday. Right back at the work. You know, the kid work a full-time job. So pretty much another classic shoe that came out this year that I get a lot of compliments on. And I'm talking none other than the Dions. These are the Diamond Turfs, right? Okay. Now this is, we've been arguing about this name for quite some time. technically when the shoe came out, he was playing on the Atlanta Falcons. So a lot of people refer to these as the Falcons, but I think if you actually search these, you'll have a better luck of finding them under the 49ers colorway, which Deion Sanders did play for the 49ers. But as you can see, it does have like prime time in the tongue, which you can't really lift up too much, but still one of my favorite classics. Obviously on the back, I got the Nike check on the back. And to be honest, man, I was kind of borderline was hoping that these wasn't gonna sell out, but they did. So I did have to pay resale for these, but I didn't get cracked over the head too bad. And y'all know me, I like to rock my strap pretty much open on all my shoes, man. So again, features some of my favorite colors, which is red, obviously black, and then gold is in this joint too, which this is what this little part is, even though you can kind of like technically see through it, but it's still one of those, it just hits on the shoe, right? Okay. And everybody just remembers the, you know, Deion being one of the GOATs, and he still is, man. So salutes to Coach Prime is what I believe he goes by now. But yeah, these are the Diamond Turfs, and this was my Tuesday shoe. Cool, now we're gonna move right along to Wednesday, right back into work. As you guys can see, man, I'm going down the, I'm going down the joint, right? Okay, so right back into work, and I stepped in again. The Diamond Turfs again, except this one is I believe, labeled as the Falcons colorway, right? Okay, basically same shoe, but instead of it being like dominantly black, it's got like that more white appeal on it. Still got the gold going inside the inside of the mesh right here. Y'all know, again, I rock my strap loose, so pretty much I would like to kind of get it where the Nike kind of could be open, but I can wear it off like that, but it keeps flopping around the place, so pretty much I figured out what just works for me. Nike check on the back of this as well. Again, kind of told you guys right here, this is obviously Deion Sanders right here, the Diamond Turfs, one of those classic climbing shoe. And now I think this is the only shoe this year, if I'm not mistaken, that I've copped off of sneakers, and I'm talking sneakers app, right? Okay, don't quote me on that, but I feel like this is my only cop. But you know what? Not a bad one, right? Okay, I like the attention to detail they paid on this shoe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely one of my favorites in my collection. And I know, again, getting nothing but compliments on these. So this was my Wednesday shoe, was the Nike Diamond Turfs. I like to just call them the Deion Sanders, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much anybody that walks up to me that's like, yo, those are Deion's. Yeah, you know, we can say that, right? Okay. So we're gonna go right to Thursday, right? Okay, right back to work, full-time job. Kid stepped in none other than the Off-White Prestos, and these are the OG joints. I think these are the first ones that came out, like when it did that collab with Off-White. R.I.P. to Virgil, don't want to talk too much without saying and paying my respects, man. I will say this. This is arguably one of my favorites in my collection. Probably an old shoe that it's trying to, like, you know, seem like I'm gonna have a few issues with it here and there, but I've been getting my money's worth on this joint for sure, man. So the bottom seems like it wants to be not doing so well, but we're gonna hold up because arguably this is one of my favorite shoes in my collection. And I did buy these used, so I'm not really tripping because I didn't get these brand new because these were very, very hard to cop. But I will say one thing about Prestos, man, it's arguably one of the most comfortable shoes you could own, right? Okay, if you don't have a pair, I will say do your feet the favor and definitely grab a pair. If it don't have to be the Off-White joint, just get an all black joint, man. These things right here, a great walking shoe. Is probably, I don't even see how I even put that much mileage on it, but I think this shoe actually dropped, what, 2017? If I'm not mistaken, check on production date, and that is correct. Yeah, so I mean, you know, it come with the game, but I feel like it still should be holding up a little better than what it is. But again, still wearable, but yeah, not, you know, something that probably I pull out enough per se, right? Okay, so this was my Thursday shoe, was the Off-White Prestos. Cool. Now let's move right along on to Friday, pretty much to close out the work week. Again, you guys know I just pretty much just been bringing back some just colors or some sneakers that, you know, just taking a break from rocking J's, man. I feel like I could rock J's for days, bars, but you know, it's nice to switch up and show what else you can bring up to your collection, bring something different to the table. So pretty much this is another classic timeless shoe right here. In my opinion, I think it also dropped in 2017, and I'm talking the Air Max, and these are the Sean Weatherspoons. Now I did have to pay resale on these. Production date is 2017. One of these shoes where it looks way better on camera and on feet than it actually does kind of like holding it in your hand. Now mine is obviously since 2017, somewhat old. I wouldn't say arguably super comfortable in my collection, but it's one of those like, you know what? It was just time, thankful to be a part of those times. Like with the gold, like pretty much shoestring laces on here, man. This shoe has gotten a lot for me right here. So again, I feel like this, the story behind it and how it all came together makes it obviously one of those classic timeless sneakers. And I know that Sean Wotherspoon probably doesn't get as much as, you know, respect as he once did, but he still was one of those guys back in the day. He also was known for opening up Round 2, which to the best of my knowledge was a resale shop. So I don't think there's too many left, but I think they originated out of Richmond, Virginia, which is also, you know, not too far from the DMV, but a lot of people could say that, you know, it could be considered that too, but it's not really. But I mean, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, this was my Friday shoe, was the Sean Wotherspoons. Cool, so pretty much that completes my weekly sneaker rotation for this week. Y'all sound off in the comment section and let me know what you wore throughout the week as well. Other than that, man, I'm gonna go and get up out of singing, start rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.
I figure out we go, you figure out.